What in the puck are these? They're cake pucks. And I made a whole bunch of them. And I did it using these, but if these were 35 bucks, and how hard was it to make? Let's find out in today's video in my review of the Benji Cakes Cake Puck Maker. Let's take a look at this cake puck mold set. I paid 35 bucks for this. Currently has a 4.7 star rating on Amazon among about 550 reviews. Also Amazon's choice. We have a sticker, always nice. Some pretty basic instructions. I believe that's a scraper. There's a tray that has kind of a, I thought it was dirty at first, but it's just that's just the texture of it. And here is the mold itself. Now they claim no more finicky cake pops. Make super easy cake pucks with this 2 mold set. They say they're easy to make by all levels of bakers. Make 6 pucks at a time, dishwasher safe silicone. Now people online who liked it said it was remarkably easy to use, especially considering how good the final product is. They say the pucks looked like they were made by professional bakers. Not a lot of cons. Some people said they were actually too big, which they don't seem that too big to me. Or that they wish they could make more than just 6 at a time. Several people said it took some trial and error to get right. So I'm gonna have to read these over and check out these QR codes. Hopefully there's some recipes in here and then get started. All right, it is time to get started now. I went through the recipes. They got a lot of them online. The first one I'm gonna try is the peppermint patty recipe. Now a lot of people on Amazon said you're gonna go through trial and error. I'm assuming this first round is gonna be the error round. I don't expect to get it right the first time. Maybe I will, maybe I'll get lucky. But even if I don't, I'm gonna show you what happened. I'll figure out my mistakes as I go. First up, we mix up the ingredients for our cores. 7 ounces of sweetened condensed milk, 4 tablespoons of softened butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a teaspoon of peppermint extract, 15 ounces of powdered sugar, which I'll do slowly. I've got my inner core mix all ready to go. Now what we have to do is load up the smaller mold. So I'm noticing that my batter is not quite as thick as the one I saw in the recipe online, but I'm gonna go with it anyways. All right, timeout. That was actually about 2 weeks ago. That first batch didn't turn out well. I don't know what I did wrong, but the batter was too runny. So I started over again, and this batch is much more like what they were describing. So I think I'm on to something this time. So I'm gonna load these up, stick them in the fridge, and see what happens. All right, batch number 1 looks much closer to what I'm expecting it to look like. The first one was just too runny. This goes in the fridge and then we start dipping. All right, it's time to get this pucking started, so to speak. These are out of the fridge. They're nice and cold. Mine don't look quite as beautiful as the demonstration, but I don't care. That doesn't mean it won't taste right. I've also got my chocolate melted. It looks beautiful, look at that. This is the chocolate I used, in case you're wondering. Now what we're supposed to do is pop these out of here. All right, popped out nicely. That's what I want to see. First attempt, they oozed out. That wasn't good. So now what we're supposed to do is get a tablespoon of chocolate. Then we add our puck to the center and press down. And I don't have enough chocolate in there. This is gonna be a learning curve. This first batch may not be as good. How about a heaping tablespoon? Do an even more heaping tablespoon. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more than a tablespoon. Every one of these has been a little bit low. I tried to scrape them. I think I made it look worse. Oh well. People aren't gonna like that. I'm gonna get complaints, but that's the way it's gonna look for right now. So you can set this at room temperature or in the fridge. I think I'm gonna throw in the fridge for a little bit and then we'll see how they turn out. And then when I take a look at those, I'll make adjustments for batch number 2. These pucks are out of the fridge. Here we go, how's it look? Now I know mine aren't gonna be as pretty as the ones that they show online, but this is my first time trying it. So let's pop one of these out of here and see what we got. Well, it's popping out nicely, that's good. Oh, look at this. Look at that, beautiful. I have one little spot of air on the side, not a big deal. First attempt and not too bad. That really looks pretty nice. Let's try another one here. With it popping out nicely, that's good. That does look really nice. Let's cut one of these open. And there is the inside. What do you guys think? I kind of crushed it a little bit. I probably should let it warm up a little bit more, but I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. But let me take a bite of this one and see what we got here. First taste down the hatch. Here we go. Wow, is that good? That's good on multiple levels. Number 1, it's accurate. That tastes like a peppermint patty. Number 2, a lot of times you get peppermint patties, there's a lot of chocolate and a little bit of the inside. Here, you get tons of filling. And number 3, look at the size of that thing. That's massive. It looks like a hockey puck. So I'm gonna pop all these out of here, wash these off, and do another batch. I'll speed things up and let you see how that turned out as well. But my first batch, well, the first one failed because I don't know what happened to the recipe, but this one turned out perfect. All right, I filled these up for round number 2. Here is the final result of those. Now I made one adjustment. I packed them much tighter and I scraped them off, so I think I actually have a much more even and uniform look to them, so hopefully that's the case. These are going to the fridge, and then it's time for more dipping. All right, it's time for round number 2. Now I was looking at my chocolate. I'm not sure if I have enough for a full batch. We'll see. Now the recipe, they had 2 of these molds. I only got 1, so I haven't having to do it one after another. But let's get started now. The pucks are popping out nicely, which is good. They're chilled. I chill these for about half an hour. Placing in there, pressing down. Once again, I don't have enough chocolate. These tend to set pretty fast because the filling is already cold, so you gotta move. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do all 6 for this batch or not. I'll do as many as I can. I only had enough chocolate for 4 pucks. I've got 2 of these left over, which I guess I'll just eat them by themselves. But let me throw these in the fridge, cool them off, and see how they look. All right, let's try these out now. I've only got 4 because I ran out of chocolate. But that's part of the trial and error process. Now I know next time I probably gotta get 2 bags. So this 1 bag was not enough for 2 full batches. Now we know. But let's take a look at this batch and see what we got. There, what do you guys think? Looking good. Look at that. Nice shiny top to it. All right, let me take the rest of these out of here. This is when I was running out of chocolate, so that one didn't turn out too good. I mean, that one looks perfect. That's probably my best one of all of them. Look at this. No cracks, no creases, nothing. This one I was also a little bit low on chocolate, but it turned out pretty good too. So the first 2 rounds I learned quite a bit, so let's come back tomorrow and try another recipe, a couple rounds of that, and see how that goes. Day number 2, recipe number 2. Now I looked over my footage from yesterday on the peppermint patties. I read over the instructions, and I'm gonna make a few adjustments to hopefully make them better today. Today I'm making what sounds really good, and that's peanut butter cups, that's right. So let's jump right into the recipe now. First up, 2 packages of graham crackers. We have to crush these. I pull out my illustrious Ninja Express chop for that. It's a lot of graham crackers. It's a lot of graham crackers, so I'll have to do this in a few different ways. All right, so those 2 packages were 9.7 ounces, which I think is close enough. Next up, 1.5 cups of creamy peanut butter. 1 cup of melted butter. 3 cups of powdered sugar. Tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now mix. This came out pretty much like she showed in her videos, so I'm pretty happy with this. So all I gotta do now is start filling. Now she said to use a cookie scoop to fill in, but I'm using my hands because I wanna make sure there's no residual graham cracker chunks left over in here. So I feel like being a little more hands-on here. One lesson I learned in the first day is I'm gonna pretty much pack these in much more tightly than I did the first time around. Now I've got a lot of this left. This is gonna be several batches. I saw a few people online saying that you really didn't make enough per mold, and I get that. And this is gonna be like an all-day project. That's fine, I got all day. So we'll scrape these off here. All right, I think that's pretty nicely filled. So these are gonna go in the fridge. I'm gonna wrap this up until I'm ready to use my next batch. This looks like it's gonna be at least 3 batches, maybe more. So unfortunately, I have to run to the dentist, so I'll have to do this when I get back with nice clean teeth. But they definitely should be chilled by then. So we'll come back in a little bit and start dipping. All right, it's time to get the puck out of here. In other words, get the puck out of the mold. Well, they pop out nicely, they retain the shape. Nice solid shape, very good. I'm gonna remove all these at the same time, which I didn't do last time. This is definitely a learning curve to this, and I feel like I'm learning as I go. I feel like the more I do this, the better I get at it. So we have all of our cold pucks right there. I have 2 packages of chocolate this time, and I added a half a teaspoon of coconut oil to the chocolate just as well. So I'm gonna try 2 tablespoons, making some adjustments. Here we go. 2 tablespoons this time. I'm placing the puck gently, pressing down. Oh, we got a lot more chocolate this time, a lot more. Now what she was showing is kind of banging on the table to get the air out and to fill that in. I think that's gonna work. It filled in. All right, repeat the process 5 more times. While those are setting, let's load up the next batch. These are loaded up and they're already pretty cold. This batter was in the fridge for a little bit, so I don't think this has to sit long at all. So whenever I'm ready to dip, these should be ready. All right, here we are. Now these are only in the fridge for about 5 minutes. So I didn't let them sit that long, but apparently you don't need to. So let's see if only 5 minutes can deliver results. See if I can get the puck out of here. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that. I mean, that's not great, but look at the rest of it. That's beautiful, perfect. Let's get the rest of these out of here. Wow, I'm impressing myself. I don't impress myself very often, but I'm impressed right now. I mean, come on now, look at this. I mean, look at this, shiny, no air pockets. There is my first batch of the peanut butter cups. Looking pretty delectable, aren't they? I am a fan of that shiny chocolate too. Before I taste those, I'm going right back into the next round. All right, let's try filling these now. All right, so batch 2 is doing its thing right now. Let's take a taste of batch number 1 first. And that's what we got inside. Looks pretty good, huh? That looks delicious. Let's see if it tastes as good as it looks, because it looks pretty good. Here we go. It tastes exactly like it looks, and it tastes like a good peanut butter cup. It's like one of those big cups times 2. There's a lot of peanut butter in there. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna finish up the rest of these batches here. I'll show you them all at the end, but I think it's about time to wrap this thing up. You show up to a party like that, you're gonna be the star of the show. This isn't all the ones I made. I actually ate a few of them. This is just the partial sampling of all the ones I made. So in the end, I really like the final results. They almost make you look like you're a professional baker. And the recipes are very good too, but to me it's kind of like chess. It's kind of easy to learn, but I think there's a steep curve and you want to master it. I feel like I was getting better as I went, but I feel like I can get better as I continue to use it. I'm still not sure about the price though, because I probably would want to have multiple of these if I wanted to do it again. But 2 of these would be 70 bucks. Get out of here with that. That to me is a tough sell price alone. Otherwise, it works pretty well. But that's all I've got. If you've tried the Bendy Cakes Cake Book Maker or something like it, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.